I go.
Is permanently just chatting. We're back. Jamie and Victor doing it again. We're back. You can't get rid of us. Welcome.
I think that was good.
That's my intro. Sure. Workshop it.
Yeah, okay.
Would you like to tell us about the topic today?
Sure, I can talk about the topic. Alright. We're good. We're gooch. Alright, so the topic today is a little more serious than our past couple of topics. We're gonna talk a bit about how like COVID-19 and the pandemic affected us and our families. But also try and like talk a bit about the silver linings in it all as well. If
COVID's triggering, it's all good to skip this one. All good.
Yes, like don't feel the need to watch this one.
Just a warning up front.
Yeah.
Lots of COVID talk, lots of sickness talk.
It can get a bit depressing.
Like. Yes, it's gonna get very depressing.
Yeah. So.
God. I can start. Sure. Okay. So, like everyone, I assume, not to make an assumption, but most people were like, okay, we're only just, we're getting a little vacation.
Yeah.
Back March 2020. Just a little 2-week vacation from school, from work. It's all good. And here we are, 2022. But.
The 2022?
Yeah, it's been so long. Oh my god. And it's not over, it's actually getting worse. But that's unrelated. Well, not really. But personally, I've been blessed enough to where it didn't put me out of my house. Not to mention my dad is considered an essential worker.
Yeah.
But the rest of like extended family and things like that, people who haven't lived in my house have gotten hit pretty hard. Like both my mom and my aunt have been in the hospital. Not for COVID directly, but it definitely doesn't help.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, it's been rough out here sometimes. I went through a lot of, I don't know if this is the same for you, Victor, but I went through had crises over like the big shutdown. The first big shutdown. Like, I had to figure out who I was. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
No, like, genuinely, gender crisis, sexuality crisis, the whole 9 yards. I am a completely different person pre-COVID.
Yeah, no, same. So a time of reflection.
Oh yeah. Reflecting on who I was as a person, who other people were to me.
Yeah. I will say that I'm similar in the gratefulness of COVID not affecting my immediate family, so the people I live with, that badly. I've been, grateful for not having to worry about, not having a place. We moved during COVID. Literally, so beginning of 2020, actually end of 2019, beginning of 2020, we decided, we've been in a house for a while, and it made sense when my sister and I were younger, when my sister was still in the house, when family would visit more, but family doesn't really visit anymore, and it was just the three of us in this house that was too big, not that big, but for three people, a house, it just made sense to downsize. I was, it wasn't the end of the world. It was moving into a condo. I was a little sad because it was that was my childhood home, but
yeah,
nothing to the extent of oh no, we downsized, and I think that helped. I'm thankful that we were in the house for the beginning, the first, month of COVID, when it was kind of we didn't know what was going on. To still have been able to stay in the house because we had space, but it definitely, I think, helped, especially my mom's mental health when we moved into the condo, because it was less to take care of. A lot of stuff was breaking in the house, so Like, it's the new owner's problem now. um, Not like currently breaking, but a lot of things were like going to need to be fixed if we were going to stay in the house, and that was going to be ridiculously expensive because everything is ridiculously expensive now. Like, we can't afford, if we wanted to, we couldn't afford to buy back our home. So the condo's nice. I think it gave us, even though we're a lot closer together, which was a downside to it, where we can take care of it a lot easier. And I think that's good because since I'm going to be leaving, for my parents, they don't have to take care of a big place. It's just for them. So that was, I guess, the biggest sort of change was now we were in a building and, spending, I have to go with you on this, like finding out who I was a big part of what happened during quarantine, and like still not absolutely certain, but like, the sexuality, the gender, trying to figure out what exactly I was trying to like, what I felt like was me, that reflection period. I agree with.
Yeah, I had like a lot of like, not even just that, like, what did I like? Because up until COVID, I didn't realize I don't know myself like at all. Even now, I still don't really know. Not a lot. Like, I have my interests, but like, what do I want to do for the rest of my life? I'm still kind of like, I don't know, kind of just floating here on this rock, trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And then got shut down.
Do you have like 10 million people asking you, oh, what are you like majoring in and what do you want to do with your life and things like that? And I'm just like, I don't know.
Mostly my major and if I'm going to college, which I've told most of them yes, and that I am film switching to psychology. It was a whole thing.
I get asked about
my major. I don't think I'm going to college, but that's a whole other situation that I have to figure out.
Yeah. I had to figure that too. I didn't know if I wanted to go to college or not. I also went through a period of realization of like, I thought I wouldn't be able to get into college.
In that period right now, I don't think I'm gonna be able to get into college. But I honestly, I don't really want to go to college, but I know that if I don't do college, I have to start working, and I'm not ready for that yet. Because there's nothing out that I want to do that doesn't require higher education.
Yeah.
It to some extent, though.
Yeah.
In a spot here.
I realized that I had this is gonna sound really weird. I had a Common App essay tutor who like inspired me to apply to college.
Hey, you gotta get the inspiration from somewhere.
Exactly, right? So she like inspired me and really helped me understand that like you can, you put your mind to it, you can do it. And but what I'm going to do, like currently, because I had to choose something, my school didn't let me do undecided. I am an art history major currently.
Oh.
But I don't have, they said you choose a major just to get into the school, but they don't actually let you choose a major until your end of your second year. So, don't actually know what I want to do. I thought about art history because I like art and I like history, so why not shove them together? But I'm also thinking of doing like film studies or like 3D design or I'm not like a science person really, but part of me kind of wants to learn like mechanical type stuff and how to make toys.
Okay. That's you have a very widespread.
Yeah, like that's me. Like I have no idea, so I'm
but
just.
That's valid because I was at a similar point where I had so many options in front of my face. Like I was like, I could be a theater major, I could do film, I could do writing, I could do ecology, and I've had people give me different ways to do it, minor in this, major in this, or do this and then do this as a side project or a club. And I was just like, yeah, I guess. Like nothing really sat well, and I'm still a little unsure. But I feel a little better having made a decision that I know that I'll enjoy eventually.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go, like, I gotta do my gen ed classes first, right? And I got my class list for this upcoming year, and I'm actually kind of excited for some of them. So I'm gonna try and just continue trying to find out what I actually like to do. I will say, if COVID hadn't happened, there's a lot of things I probably wouldn't have done. I'm glad I tried doing those things. I will drink some water.
Yeah, I'm hydrating. I'm hydrating right now.
I got a water bottle with me.
When I drinking? me when you, me when I, Buddy the elf. I'm very confused.
Yeah. But and
really threw me off.
I think, yeah, no, definitely with the self-discovery, still trying to figure that out. And I think I figured out some of the, like, sexuality type stuff. And the gender, you know. That's still up in the air. But
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I really thought you had some more.
No, I don't know, man. Like, it's a process, and it took some time.
It really is.
And
it's like so odd and weird and a little, I don't know if I want to say scary. Oh, I get it. Okay, sorry. It's a little scary too to be like, to look into, like, turn everything inside and be like, okay, who am I? What do I like? Who do I like? What do I want to do with my life? How do I want to make an impact on the world? And it's like, really, it's like a lot to do that for a year, or how long were we, like, how many months
2.5.
that we just
We're
were
at, like,
straight up shut down?
Like 2 years, almost.
Fair enough. But, like, you know, to just be like, to have to constantly be alone with yourself and just figure it out and learn to not only live, but, like, exist with yourself and roll around in that, you know, like, accept who you are, and if you want to change it, this is how you get started. This is how you acknowledge who you are, take accountability, and you fix whatever you need to fix, if anything, you know, like, those are the stepping stones to being the person that you want to be.
Yeah,
figuring some of that stuff out.
Definitely. And, like, you know, I think figuring out who I want to be and figuring out that, like, it's okay to not be okay. Like, coming to terms with the fact that, like, I needed to talk to someone. And I think COVID really, like, my mental health was already shaky, but, like, COVID knocked it over. Like, if it was a glass of water, COVID was a cat that, like, knocked it over. And
I had a lot of those, like, moments where, like, the glass was knocked over. You know, the rug was pulled from under me during COVID. But a lot of people said that they don't like doing the virtual learning. And, you know, that's totally fine. You know, you're used to being in person with a teacher, being able to be like, hey, no, you're doing this wrong, fix this. Minus all of the technical difficulties and the fact that most people over the age of 24 don't know how to use technology, no offense.
No, I feel that.
But I actually liked it. I actually really enjoyed being able to be in my own space and do my work kind of on my own time. I got assignments done way faster than I would if I were in a classroom with tons of other people. And this actually made me realize that I had a lot of social anxiety. More social anxiety than I thought I did.
Yeah.
There's, like, a certain level, like, oh, I just don't like giving, you know, speeches. But no, I physically, if you put me in an environment and tell me to write an essay, do an exam, do work, do homework, I am going to most likely get it wrong because I am so scared of what other people will do or say it. Even though we're all doing our own thing. It's a really weird, it's a weird thing. It's really weird.
Yeah, virtual learning worked okay for me when it was the initial schedule that my school had, which was we start at 9, we only have 4 classes a day, and a nice, you know, 4 classes a day, and then we were done. The problem was when we went back in person and we switched to the normal school schedule of waking up at, like, 6 to get to class and then going through 8 classes a day and blah blah. That mess with me. I do not have the attention span. Like, we haven't gotten it diagnosed yet, but I want to get tested for ADHD. Just, I couldn't do it. That's why I almost failed that year. And so in-person learning, I enjoy to an extent. While I'm anxious, I don't have social anxiety.
I would.
I just have run-of-the-mill
Normal
anxiety. I don't want to say normal because not normal.
Vanilla flavored anxiety.
Yeah, vanilla.
Got like Rocky Road going on.
I think I found that like COVID caused me to become anxious about things that I used to be perfectly fine with.
Yeah.
And like that annoyed the crap out of me.
Yeah.
I'd be yelling at myself, being like, why are you so, like, literally about to throw up, doing something that I've done before that I'm totally normally okay with, that now is just like, I can barely do.
Oh, why am I sweating? Why is my heart going so fast? Why do I feel like I'm about to cry? It's just something that I've done pre-COVID a ton. Yeah. And it also didn't help because we were completely shut down and isolated, that when we started opening back up and going back out, I couldn't really talk to people, like, genuinely.
Oh my god. And like
I don't do phone calls, like, unless I don't do phone calls, but I do Discord calls. It's a weird, I don't know. I'm not a big fan
on a Discord call.
Yeah, no, this isn't bad once we get into it, but initially any kind of stuff, but it's also like, it's so weird because it's like, I was totally fine. I would call people like out of the blue random. Now if somebody does that, I'm like, oh my god, who's dead? What happened?
Oh,
like,
no,
genuinely, it's just like, my friend called me and I was like, oh god, should I answer that? Are they gonna be dead?
Dude, calling's like so not in our, like, I video call with my friends, right? And like I'll Discord call with you guys, like, but phone calls with like people that aren't like my doctor or something are just weird.
I'll call my mother and my father. If anyone else calls me, there's something wrong and I'm scared.
That's fair, honestly. Like, yeah.
But it's like, I can't call places. Like, I wouldn't be able to like call like a pizza place and order. I could, but like, all right, listen, I'm gonna be real with you for a second. I'm pretty sure I have the tism. So phone calls have to be really scripted or I'm going to fumble over my words and have to repeat myself. And I don't like doing that because it makes me embarrassed.
Yeah.
So if I don't have a script for something, I won't do it. I genuinely just won't. I'll be like, oh, you need me? I need to call my doctor. Okay, but what do I say? Okay, bye. I guess I'm not calling my doctor.
Write down on a...
Yeah, literally have to like, all right, what do I need to know? What information do I need to have at hand? Yeah, that didn't help with COVID.
No. I forgot, like, I was so much more of a germaphobe. Like, I am
more that now.
Like,
more of a germaphobe.
Yeah, I used to, I mean, I've always been a little bit germ conscious, obviously, and I've tried to be, like, clean and stuff, but it's, like, so much worse now. I mean, I don't want to say, like, complete germaphobe, because I'm not, but
Valid.
more germ conscious than I was before, and actually, like, about those, like, anxiety attacks and stuff, like, if I go out without my mask on, and, like, if I'm just outside, it's, like, fine, but if I enter a building and I'm not wearing my mask, I honestly feel like I'm gonna have a heart attack.
I was like that for most of 2020 and 2021. I mean, I'm still not fully comfortable without being with a mask, of course, but I'm less like, oh my god, I'm gonna instantly die and drop to the ground and be dead forever. I'm more like, okay, I don't like the amount of people that are in here that are coughing. I'm gonna put my mask up. I'm gonna go sanitize the fuck out of my arms. Goodbye.
Yeah. Oh my god, because like my parents had COVID the other week, and I was so worried that I would get it. Because I didn't want to. I had a festival at the end of the week, and it's my last festival until I don't know when. So, I really wanted to go because it was my last festival with my youth team. It's my last festival with my adult team that I normally paddle with, so it's going to be a long time before I ever get a chance to paddle with them again. So I was like, you guys, my parents called me a dictator, but I just told them, you got to stay in your room, no leaving the room unless you have to go to the bathroom because their bathroom is in the hallway. And no one's allowed in the kitchen. The kitchen is my space. I will
Ground your parents.
Hmm?
Did you ground your parents?
Basically. They were sick. They were germy. So
you're valid. I'm just clarifying. Right
yes, I essentially grounded them. My dad was allowed to leave the room because he works from home. He's worked from home before COVID, so in that aspect, nothing changed for him. But so he was allowed to go with a mask on to his work table to work, and then he would go back to his room. Very strict schedule, and my parents called me a dictator, and I was annoyed at that, but like whatever. So that I would double mask when going out to cook, even if I was the only one like leaving their room. I'd mask, like that week I masked outside. I masked in the car when it was just me in the car. Like it was ridiculous, but looking back on it, I probably could have been more lax, but I can't, I physically can't anymore.
Be safe. All your bases.
Yeah, and I washed my hands like 20,000 times a day.
Yeah, you might want to get some lotion for that.
I did.
Trust me, it gets cracked and crunchy.
Oh yeah. No, I'm a lotion user. I got tattoos, man. They gotta stay.
Valid.
And I'm part Filipino, so we use our lotion.
I understand.
Yeah. Hey, silver lining about COVID. I probably wouldn't have started streaming, so then I probably wouldn't have met you.
That's true. I want to stream. I actually wanted to do a Dead by Daylight stream today, but I didn't get to it. Had stuff going on.
That's fair. That's
But
valid.
if I have nothing going on, I might stream tomorrow. I'm really scared to stream again because it's kind of like that COVID thing where you go away for a long time and then you come back and then it's like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want it to be like, oh, okay. I don't know how to describe that any other way, but
I got you. That's right, sugar.
I'm glad we read that at the same time.
Yeah, no, if you do stream though, I'll keep my eye out. I'll hop on your chat. Spam hydrate.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
I'm trying. I did forget to eat today, which was a mistake, but I didn't know.
Take care of yourself.
I ate, but I forgot it first.
Oh.
I forgot it first.
Good.
Thank you, sugar.
No, yeah. Oh.
You told them. You did it.
Oh my goodness.
Running out of water.
I still got mostly a full bottle because I brought 2 bottles to practice and I only drank 1, so.
I just finished one when you called me, and then I had to grab another one. All right.
I feel like we should study in a cafe. Now what is this cafe? Goodness gracious.
That's okay.
It's got a man's body on it.
That's that's kind of.
This is a loud cafe. I want a quiet one. Or cafe. There we go. Sorry, got distracted. No, I definitely think I'm glad I started streaming. The only streams I've done in the past month are these podcast streams.
Me too.
Which reminds me, I still gotta post the second podcast on the YouTube.
So I also feel like I have ADHD.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the starting point of this next part.
Okay,
portion.
I got you.
Because I need to be held accountable for things or I will not do them.
Mm.
Hence why this is the most consistent thing I've done all year. And even then, it's Wednesday night. But, it is what it is. I want to try and stream again, but it's just the anxiety of coming back is sometimes overwhelming.
Well,
I also get stressed because I don't know what to talk about. How do I? Which is why I've been trying to find a game that I really want to play again. That's got a lot of things I can talk about and be active on, so it's not just dead silence and me playing a game.
Yeah, and if you ever need a person and want to do a multiplayer game, just let me know.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I guess, yeah. um,
Yeah?
to get myself to do things is a process. But I found a way that tends to work, and it's really weird, but like, so like, I'm a person that I won't get out of bed even after I wake up. And the only way I get myself out of bed is if I physically throw myself out of the bed. It's a little
Why?
painful, but it gets me up.
Sure.
Because I tried like putting my alarm clock like far away. Yeah, that doesn't work. I get up, turn it off, and
Yeah, exactly. I go right back.
yeah. But
And then I don't remember it when I actually wake up.
But if I throw myself out of the bed, I'm startled enough that it like, okay, I'm up. I don't know. It works weirdly.
I do the opposite. I do a multitude of things. I drink a lot of water before I go to bed, which is a mistake, but you gotta hear me out. I set like 4 alarms, put the phone right next to my ear. And then, because listen, iPhone alarm is fucking alarming.
It's loud, yeah.
So I'm gonna be awake regardless after that. It's gonna happen at some point. I'm gonna get startled every time that it goes off, but it's okay. And then, since I have to pee in the morning, I'm gonna get up, which means I'm gonna be up. And that's kind of how I do it. But it doesn't really work too much.
Yeah.
Because I am dehydrated constantly. Please don't buy more drinks.
Yeah.
Hardcore beating the game that needs guests. I don't know if you guys have ever watched my streams before. I'm not good at Minecraft.
Same.
If you're aware, hardcore's not gonna work too well. No, yeah, I figured. I figured. It's okay. I would hope not real life. Oh my god.
How do we get to sap, though?
The fun pads.
The fun pad.
Why is there a chocolate? What? Sorry, I found a chocolate chip on my desk. I don't know how long that's been there.
Do you, I'm a little worried because, like, I get into these, like, depressive episodes where
Me too.
I barely have motivation to begin with, so I lose the motivation that I have, and my room becomes a bit of a nightmare. I end up with a lot of bottles all over the place.
I'm gonna send you a picture of my desk.
Okay.
And I want you to tell me.
I will tell you one thing. My desk has always been a mess. The only reason it is clean right now is because I'm moving and had to clean out everything, which was a process. My mom and my dad had to help me because I couldn't get myself to do it. So like I don't know how I'm going to take care of myself. Like
Personally, I'm moving soon. I don't know when specifically, but I know that once I get like 2 or 3 days ahead of time, I'm going to be ADHD last minute cleaning 4 hours. I'm going to hyperfix on. Yeah, that's what my desk looks like. It's bad. Don't show that. It's bad. It's been like that most of this whole time, but yeah, and it's most of my surfaces look something like that. Most of them aren't that bad though. Any storage I have is full to the brim of. I couldn't even give you one specific topic of what it is, and I'm gonna end up stress organizing and cleaning.
Yeah,
and it's going to be hell for a good day or two. I don't know how long it's gonna take.
Yeah. No, that's like oh my god, I have a story. So we're cleaning up my room, right? And we're going through it, and I'm like reaching my limit. I'm reaching my limit. I pull a box. So we had finally started on my closet. My closet I use for storage generally. It's got a bunch of boxes in there. We're unloading each box. I pick up the last box that was on the bottom, and it's dripping on me. It was just water, but we're like, where's this water coming from? It is a good thing we cleaned that out because there was a leak somewhere, came from the wall down onto the carpeted closet floor, and there was mold all over the carpet and all up the wall. Now, my mom was really worried because she was like, don't breathe it in. So they sealed my closet. My dad brought up the fact that the mold's probably been there for a while, and so I've been breathing for weeks. But, it's fine. Whatever. We pulled up the carpet. That's the easy part. We now have to, bleach attack the wall. But we're waiting to hear back if we can get some, homeowners insurance on it.
valid.
We don't know where it came from. We have no idea where that water came from, but like that just made what was supposed to be an easy, like, get the stuff out of the closet, we'll finish it up tomorrow, to we need to, like, clean this now.
Yeah. My house also has mold problems, mostly on, like, the windows during winter, and then, like, windows and windowsills, and then most of my basement, actually. So we don't really go down there. It was recently cleaned with bleach, of course, because of the mold.
Yeah.
Because of, we're selling the house. So I haven't been down there, so I assume it's not terribly bad because people have been seeing it and stuff, but yeah, it was down there and in the windows for a while before we found it. We were really upset when we did.
Yeah, no, mold's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
It's so annoying.
Didn't kill me as fast as I thought it would, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I'm like, well, obviously the mold didn't kill me because I'm still here. That was, goodness gracious.
I don't have enough water for this.
It's okay, I'll drink for you.
I drink for you.
Took 2 big gulps for 2 people. I am going to run out of water at some point, or going to have to pee at some point.
It'll happen, don't worry about it.
No, yeah, so, fun fact, if you decide to go to school abroad, this is for anyone, not just you, Toph, you know, anyone, like
you just coming for me right now, personally? Okay.
It is a process. There is 10 million different things you have to do paperwork-wise. There's a ridiculous amount of, like, little fees, because the thing is, it's, like, the cost of, like, tuition and rent, but they break it up for some reason into, like, 10 million different payments. And I'm like, I understand, like, you're, like, trying to, you know, keep the payments low, because a lot of times also our credit card would be like, so do you, like, fraud alert, you know, because we're paying, like, a foreign thing. So, which is fine, and we're very thankful for loans and some scholarship money, like, thank you, but it was like 10 million things of paperwork. The paperwork was ridiculous. Also, they do not give, like, a recommended packing list, like, this is what you might need, which I feel like would be something to put there. Or maybe they do, and I just haven't,
like, abroad,
like, I haven't found it. If they do have one. So I have no idea, like, I've watched videos, I've looked at things, I'm still clueless as to what I actually will need. The apartment where I'm staying at is not very clear on what they're going to provide me. So I'm gonna do most of my shopping there. I'm not going to buy things here because there's no point. I still have to be able to get it there. But we had to do pre-orientation activities, which I guess is normal for most schools, but it's ridiculous, let me tell you. Like, I had to watch a bunch of videos and answer a bunch of questions and do a whole writing assignment for it. And then, like, that on top of the stupid paperwork that I've had to do. And oh my god, government websites suck.
Oh my god, they do!
They suck so much.
Sorry. I just really, truly agree with that statement so much.
Yeah.
Oh my god, don't get me started on fucking
FAFSA.
I fucking hate FAFSA.
That was awful.
I'm still having problems. FAFSA's the only reason that I might not be able to go to college.
Fuck FAFSA. We were filling it out, and it doesn't save all the time. So, like, we filled it out, and then the website crashed. So then it took us another hour to fill it out again. And the French-American visa website. I wanted to literally punch a hole in my monitor. Like, I wasn't going to because that's expensive to fix, but I really wanted to.
Valid.
That website, it did this to me, basically. You're filling things out, and I wanted it, but it takes you, like, page by page. So you fill out the first page, you hit next, it takes you to the second page. I'm on the first page. There are 2 spots where I need to select my gender and where I need to select my nationality. And they're drop-down menus. The other things were type in. Now, the gender, that was a...
the roller coaster, huh?
The drop-down menus weren't working. I was clicking them and nothing was dropping down and I couldn't type in them. And I was getting to a point where I was yelling at it, being like, I don't even know my frickin' gender. Why are you making me choose it? You're not even letting me choose it. I was getting so frustrated. So I refreshed the page. It worked. I chose everything that needed to be clicked, and I go to the next page and I fill out the next page and I'm at the final page where it's like choose a appointment time and then click finish. I chose an appointment time. I clicked finish. A message popped up that said, you've been on the website for too long, so you have to wait 3 hours before trying again.
What?
I'm like, it is your fault I've been on this website for too long. It's your fault. It was their fault because they wouldn't let me do the drop down menus. So then I gave up. And I waited till the next day to try again because I was so pissed.
Valid.
So government websites suck.
Yeah, no, I don't like. Hey, yo, government, if you're listening, fix your shit.
Yeah. Same with like college websites though. They also kind of are like horribly created.
I have a genuine question though. Like a genuine question. And I know you don't know the answer to it, because no one knows the answer to it. Why the fuck do I have to have 8 different accounts to do all of my college information stuff?
I don't know.
One for my classes, one to put in my actual like application, and then you don't use it again. There's one for like signing in to see your classes. There's another one for like why do I need 7 different accounts? Why can't it all be under one website doing one thing, and then they send you over to this to fill that out and it's good? Like, why does it have to be 7 different websites, 8 different accounts? Yeah.
It's so annoying. And like the websites ain't even like, I'm like, you have a graphic design program. Why is your website horribly created and horribly set up?
Get some students to fix it, bro.
Yeah, right?
It's not that
like
hard. Make it a final year project. It'll be fine.
Yeah, and I'm totally with you with the multiple accounts things. I have like 5 different accounts, and granted one of them's an email, but still. And they all have like 3 of them have different passwords than the rest. And because they needed me to change it. And I'm like, but you're for the same thing.
1, 2.
You know how many passwords?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I genuinely have 9 school accounts. Genuinely. Just counted on my phone. I got a little note because I have to keep track of 8 accounts. 9 accounts. I don't even know.
Too many. You'd think with the fact that we rely so much on technologies these days that they would at least put some effort into this stuff. I know it's like
got links to other websites to do it. Oh god, there's so many websites for college.
And they my school has so many different, like, they sent me this thing. It was part of the pre-orientation, and they're like, download each of these attachments and read through them. There were 10 different attachments, and some of them are like 15 pages long. And most of them are like the same thing over and over again. And I'm like, gosh. And here's the thing. I know that, I complain about the visa, and I complain about, the process, the bureaucracy that it takes to get into France. Because once I get there, I have more paperwork I need to do. I need to set up a French bank account. I need to set up a French phone plan. I need to get a residency permit, because apparently a long stay visa, you can't actually rent an apartment with. You have to get a residency permit to be able to legally live in the country, which is apparently normal across multiple places. It's not just France that does that. And I understand, like, for me,
are you able to like go there and then do it, or
yeah,
you have to
you have to do it once you're in the country. It's also like I can't get my Metro pass until I'm in there, but it's probably going to take 2 weeks, so I'm going to have to get like a separate Metro pass that I can get right away, and then get my like year-long one.
Jeez. That's a lot.
And like, look, I'm choosing to go there, right? Like, I have the option, and I'm choosing to go there, and I'm willing to do this stuff, and I'm just going to complain about it. But like, for people who are like moving to another country to live there for a long time, like not just for school, or if they're escaping, from something else and they're immigrating to a new country, like, oh my gosh, I'm lucky because my school has at least helped me through most of this, right? Like they're a pain in the ass sometimes, but they have a lot of like things like PowerPoints and walkthroughs, like, okay, this is what you got to do on this website, this is what you got to fill in. So in that sense, like, I've had help. But to go through this with like no help, and especially if you're going to a country where your first language is not, say, like if you're coming to the US, like English, I like that's some of the stuff, like, it's ridiculous. I'm like, at the very least, I feel like they could push it all more into like it's all separate. Like, make some of it combined, It doesn't all have to be separate. And it just makes me think about that because I'm like, goodness gracious. Bless you.
Excuse me.
Yes?
What?
You
No,
cleared your throat.
I was just clearing my throat.
Mm-hmm. No, it's a joke that my dad does.
Oh?
If you clear your throat, he says yes. What is it?
What was the topic?
COVID.
Oof. Okay. Well.
Look, I think we both had to rant about government websites for a bit,
Listen,
It was...
Can't blame us. Okay, we live in America. It's not... I don't think I need to say more, okay?
Yeah.
But, yes. It also doesn't help that there's, like, still stuff happening and people are just like, oh, no, we're good. It's over. Like, no, bestie.
It's not.
Nah. Go sanitize. go sanitize. I watched you touch that. Go. No. I'm not touching that doorknob. Absolutely not.
Oh my god, and when I heard that they were lifting the mask mandate off of planes and stuff, I was, like, kind of horrified.
When it got lifted off my school, I was like, oh, hell no. And you best believe I wore my mask all the way up until we graduated.
Same here.
I was like, y'all ain't finna catch me lacking. Absolutely not. In this heat, I'll suffocate. I don't care.
I'm like, I see where you guys go after school Sunday. I see
I know some of you people on a personal level. Absolutely not.
I know the parties you attend.
I seem to do.
Yeah, no, I kept my mask on. And I wear my mask on a plane. I'm like, no. They've I will say, weirdly, the US is still one of the countries that require a negative COVID test to come into the country.
That's absurd to me, honestly.
Yeah, quite a few countries now, it's just as long as you're vaccinated, you can come in. You don't have to test beforehand. But with the US, you still have to test. So I think that's interesting, definitely.
Unique stance.
Mm-hmm.
Especially to be like, no, we don't have to mask anymore. But people coming in, y'all gotta test.
Test, yeah.
Sorry about that, but shrug.
Yeah, we were like, when we forgot what I was gonna say. Wait for it. Oh yeah. I had a friend visit from Canada, and he came down for my graduation, and I had a mini with friends, like, graduation party thing. And he came down, and so he had to test to come into the US. And he was so happy that he did not have to test to go back into Canada, because tests in the US are, like, the official ones, the ones you have to get to, like, go into countries, are expensive. They're not cheap, man. Especially if you're, like, a traveler, because you don't have, like, health insurance. And, like, I don't even know if testing's covered by that anymore. But, like, they're not cheap. Like, for in Canada, he was like, he got one for, like, $10.
Hey,
yeah.
Jealous of Canada, RN.
And so, like, he comes here, and he was so happy that he didn't have to get a test. But that was yeah. It's crazy. I wish.
It really truly is.
Yeah, because you used to be able to get COVID tests for free when, like, if you needed to get tested for COVID, you could
be like, oh, come on, let's swab you down or whatever.
Stick it in your nose.
Yeah, do what they gotta do, you know?
And like I kind of get the fact that they're not free anymore, but I don't think they need to be as expensive as they are.
Yeah.
Like some of them are hundreds, like $100. I'm like, what?
It's
I'm
really not
sticking a
all that.
cotton swab up my nose. Like, I've gotten like strep tests, and they were cheaper than that.
My dad got a few free tests because he was an essential worker, so got two, and I took one because I one of my grandparents had both of my grandparents had it, but I was exposed to them for like 2 days before they found out, so I obviously freaked out and tested, and I was it was like a mini cotton swab thing, and a little test thing, and it wasn't, I don't know how much it cost, but it was really small for what it was, and I was like, all of that, like, people are paying like hundreds of dollars for something that can be very compact and very small, and it's just not like, that's a big expense for some people.
Yeah. Well, so the take-home tests, those are $15 here, $17 depending on what I got on Amazon. I got 2 boxes that had 2 tests in each box, and that was $15 per box.
Oh wow.
When I went to a pharmacy and I got 2 boxes, but it only came with 1 test in each, it was $17 per test.
Jeez.
And I was like, what? Like, you'd think they'd want to make them more affordable, considering then way more people would test, but so, I'd rather get the $15 one than but if you're gonna fly, you have to go in to like either a pharmacy or your doctor and get an official test, and those are more expensive because those are like the fancy ones. But they're still kind of, I mean, you could go on a rant about health insurance and healthcare.
That's a whole other
that's
situation.
A whole,
that's a whole other episode.
Yeah. Same with like college and money.
Oh my God, yeah, there's so much I could just ramble on and on about.
Considering my Canadian friend only has to pay $3,000 this year, for his second year of college, and
Jeez.
Mine is like not that. It's much higher.
Yeah.
And the fact that we have to take loans out to like get an education just is absolutely ridiculous.
I shouldn't have to pay to expand my brain so that I can get a nice job.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to pay that much. Let me put it that way. Like, I understand maybe a little bit, some fees here or there, some books or whatever, but having to like genuinely pay to be like, I want to learn more about this specific subject so that I can learn and help people later.
$51,000. That's for you.
Yeah, $80,000. Come on, let's go. Hurry up. You better graduate with honors, or you're gonna never be able to pay this back. Like, it's
yeah. So you go bankrupt to just learn.
Y'all act like y'all ain't rich already. Like, damn.
Yeah. That is crazy. They're trying to like get community college to be free because it's not free, and I think it would make sense if it was free.
100%.
Like, what is the whole point? Is it's like,
yes, exactly. That it's easier to get into on every level.
Like, goodness. I don't understand it, but
I would never.
I hope, that one day things change, but overall, I think, like, what I'm disappointed about when it comes to education is COVID gave us a chance to reevaluate our curriculum and how we teach. And at least at my school, they did not take advantage of that at all.
Didn't either. Oh, it's actually worse.
Yeah.
Lots of teachers are resigning. There was a point where most of us weren't going to classes. We were going to the gym or the cafeteria or the library because our teachers were not here. They were sick. They quit. Like, we were one of those many schools that were having like a teacher shortage, and understandably so. Like, teachers aren't getting paid enough. Students aren't even really learning, to be 100% honest.
Yeah.
like teachers can only do so much, but they have to stick to certain standards, even though it's not really useful to most of us.
Yeah.
Cause like, let me ask you a serious question right now, okay? Have you used the Pythagorean theorem in real life ever?
No.
I didn't think so.
Yeah.
I didn't think so.
No, it's true though. Like teachers are quitting everywhere. We had a teacher sick problem. I mean, it hit the teachers and wiped them out every once in a while, and then a lot of teachers retired. We had a lot of teachers retire. We also had a lot of new teachers this year, but we had a sub shortage. So like one time, my math class was taught by an ex-English teacher. That was interesting. Luckily enough, I took financial algebra last year, and half the time we just watched YouTube videos, so we watched a YouTube video that day. And I've had the same Latin sub for so long, because I think he's just the only Latin sub in the area. Love him to death, he's great, but I think he should be able to enjoy retirement. Like, the man's not getting any
teachers were continuously getting like, they had to like take their free period, because usually they get a free period to like plan and prep, and they had to take it and cover a different class.
Yeah.
Every single day. Not a single one of my teachers had a free block anymore.
That's ridiculous. And you wonder why teachers are quitting. Like, they're not paid enough. They're having to do things that are not in their job description.
Yeah. Not paid enough for the work that they are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Not nearly enough.
And like, a teacher can definitely have an impact on a child's life, especially if they're a good one. If they're a good teacher, so they deserve to be paid. I mean, education is important. And I read a thing about a state, and I'm not going to go too much into this, but there's a state, their governor, he sent out money to every person in the state that had a kid. And this money can be used so that the child can get out of the public school system and into a private education. And so that's what that money is going to be used to essentially why wouldn't you just
improve the
public schools education?
So that way you wouldn't have to help people pay for private schools.
Exactly.
That's obviously the problem, and that governor obviously knows that. Yeah. So why wouldn't you be like, hey, instead of sending out all this money, how about we put it towards fixing the public school? Like, that's not fair to people for public schools.
That was my mind when I was watching this on the news. I was like, because I don't really like sit down and watch the news on the TV very often, but I was with my grandmother, so we were watching the news, and I'm listening to this, and I'm like, why don't you just take that money and put it into your public schools to make them better? Like, I understand public schools, like, they're supposed to, like, get money from the government and stuff, but they do get a certain amount of money from the states, too, and like, public school education is free for a reason, and free shouldn't mean bad. Free should just mean so that everyone has a chance to get an education. Like,
a chance to be successful.
Yeah.
And by not fixing or supporting your public schools, you're dropping the ball on everyone who's in there. Yeah. You never know. Like, ugh.
Yeah. So, and like, I was like, it's just so confusing. He's like, oh yeah, like with COVID and stuff, like the less people should want to go into a public school. I'm like, and they want to go into a private school? Like, it's still a school. I hate charter schools too. Don't get me started on charter schools. But yeah, that frustrated me. I feel like this has turned into a topic of education, but
you know what? That's be like that. Okay.
Yeah. It's the permanently just chatting podcast, the one that can never stay fully on topic.
Yeah. Next time we're just gonna call it ADHDers start talking.
Yeah, we should really. Just like,
it's like we've jumped to like 3 or 4 different topics already.
Oh yeah, we started on topic though.
Yeah, we kind of ended on. I mean, school has been affected by COVID as well. Yeah. It shows how bad schools and teachers are treated, and how much people actually don't care about the education system as much as they say they do.
Yeah, and
political people, of course.
COVID has definitely uh made people realize that like at their job and at their place, they have self-worth, they have rights, set your boundaries. And I think this
Say no.
movement of setting boundaries, like if I am on vacation, like don't contact me unless it's like I'm on vacation, you can contact someone else. And just things like that. And like pay boundaries, like I am doing this extra work, are you going to compensate me for this extra work that I am doing? And like,
Because if not, we might have to reevaluate my position.
yeah. So I like that. I think that's a good way to move forward.
Just not like 7 things over on my desk.
You know, ramen snack?
Oh, you said a ramen snack?
Yeah, so the brand is Baby Star. It's like crispy ramen snack, spicy flavor.
Heard of that before? Okay.
It's
Baby
great.
snack?
No, Baby Star.
Star.
That's it.
Star HK?
Baby Star.
Oh no, that can't be right. Oh no. No, this is like genuinely just like, that's not what I wanted. Oh, okay, sure. Copy, paste.
For those who aren't watching, go check out crispy ramen snack, spicy flavor. It's really good.
Baby Star crispy ramen snack, spicy flavor. That looks. Are you eating it like? Sorry, I had to stop myself from saying something a little inappropriate. Are you eating it like? Did you just open it and bite into it, or is it like ramen that you cook?
So it's dried ramen basically that's flavored, and it's crumpled up, so it's like you're eating chips almost, but it's like.
We have had that before. Not that specific flavor, not that specific brand, but I've had a type of that before.
Yeah.
I don't know how you're eating that.
I just kind of dump it in a bowl and dump it in my mouth.
Oh, sure.
But it's very good. And you can make it just from like a regular ramen packet too. You just like take the ramen and you unload the flavor packets, and then you close it up and you smash it and crush it.
Where did this come from? We were talking about COVID.
Oh, because I have a
spicy ramen flavor packet.
Because I have it right next to me.
Okay.
Just I have it next to me, so it's like in my mind, and it's really good. And we're not sponsored by them, by the way.
Bro, I would be offended if we were sponsored.
Honestly?
I do not enjoy it. Not a fan.
You're not a fan of ramen?
No, that's not a fan of dried up, crunchy ramen when you eat it like that.
It's really good.
If they sent us some actual ramen to eat, I might have some
I've got some actual ramen too, but...
I also have actual ramen, but I don't like... Not like authentic ramen, but like, listen, all I'm saying is that if it's got a different language on it, it's gonna hit different. Yeah. Okay?
Well, so
I just want to try stuff.
I've got the OG ramen packets and with the original flavoring, and what I do is I buy... No, it's Japanese.
Not American ramen. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. I live near a Japanese market. So what I do is I buy miso soup packets, so I can make my own miso soup, and then I make that and then I pour in the broth flavoring into the miso soup, and then I cook it, and then I add some chili paste to make it spicy. That's what I do, and it's not that expensive too. It's great. Highly recommend. Good food. Good soup. Good soup. Alright, I think we've exhausted this topic of conversation a bit.
Oh wait, you mean all 8 of them?
Yeah, all 8 topics.
7 different run-off stories.
Yeah.
No, that's great though.
Alright, I'm gonna end the stream.
It's nice to have someone else who's like, yeah, no, also, but I agree with you as well, and just like go deeper into this like crazy rabbit hole.
Rabbit holes! I don't know why I cheered that.
Do you want me to close it out too? How do I... Okay, hold on. Alright, I got this. Are you ready?
Yes.
Alright, so this is permanently just chatting with Jamie and Victor. Topics all over the place. We're just living our best life. Yes. And we'll see you
Wednesday.
Next week, Wednesday.
Hopefully Wednesday.
Maybe. We'll think about it.
It'll happen. Bye.
Maybe. Goodbye.